Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to True Sim Productions. We are here on the All-Star Race in the Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication Super Series. Times on the left side of your screen. This is the 54 machine. Tonight's race. Currently at the top spot, Zach Murphy, trying to put his name up there. Third quick. Murphy goes third quick. A couple more drivers making their qualifying runs. Chris Smith in 3 and 4. Chris Smith. Second in the point standings. Finished 4th last week. Tonight, second lap time for Christopher Smith. Put him to the top of the board. 80 machine. Quick time for the 80 of Chris Smith. Couple more drivers. Time. Driver out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, driving the zero machine here tonight. Puts it at the top of the board. Quick time for Justin Coleman. Didn't get any practice, but puts this tribute car to the top spot. As I'm sure many heard and have seen, Scott Bloomquist unfortunately tragically passing away in a plane accident. Big loss for the dirt racing and motorsport community in general. But Justin Coleman doing the zero machine justice, putting it at the top spot. As qualifying comes to an end, we'll see if we can grab a word from Justin Coleman in the 14. See if we can get him up in the booth. Justin Coleman up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? Alrighty, well, you are on the pole here this evening in the Scott Bloomquist tribute car. 100 laps. How can you keep it there and pick up the victory here tonight?
See if we can be at the front at the end of the race. See how it goes.
Alrighty, well, sounds like you've got a pretty good game plan. I actually think I missed the first half of your interview there. I apologize, but we'll get you some more screen time, Justin. You picked up a victory last week, I believe. I don't know if it was the Supers or was it the? It was the Supers.
Yes.
You picked up the victory last week at Myrtle Beach in the Super Late Models. Yeah, it's right on screen.
Yes, sir.
Can you go 2 in a row here at Nashville?
We dang sure gonna try. There's a lot of tough guys in this field, so we'll see what we can do.
Alrighty, well, you're going to be starting at the front. We wish you luck in this 100-lap feature event.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Alrighty, well, apologize for not getting the first half of Coleman's interview right there, but we are on the grid nonetheless. Going to get our race info up right here. Track temp 71 degrees. Pretty cool for Nashville. So we'll see. That plays a factor in tonight's race, but your grid on the front of your screen right here. Justin Coleman going to be rolling off from the pole. Chris Smith second in the 80 machine. Brandon Elvis going to roll off third in the 54. His outside, I should say, is the 8 of Connor Lee. Zach Murphy rolls off in row number 3 on the bottom with Brad Carpenter in the 31 up top. Caleb Thompson rolls off 7th in the 04 machine with Adam Fulford in the 71. Starting 8th, Brandon Kelly going to roll off in the 9th spot in number 9. Scotty Stevens going to roll off in the 10th position. Jeffrey Miller starting 11th, row 6 on the bottom. Up top, it'll be Dale Ogburn in the 01. Back behind them, rounding out the field, Daniel Sweat in the 07 machine. In 13th and the 14th spot, Dalton Creech got in here a little bit late. Going to make the appearance here tonight at Nashville. As Justin Coleman problems. He pulled up off the racetrack. Issues for Justin Coleman. Has trouble there. Justin Coleman pulled off of the racetrack. Not what we wanted to see, but through turns 3 and 4, I think we are going to keep the green or keep the yellow flag out. You saw Justin Coleman have issues there on the start. We'll see if he can get back in and get the 0 machine back on the racetrack. Some kind of issue there for the 14 of Justin Coleman. He's going to lose that front starting spot. We'll see if he can get the 0 back out of the pits in time for the green flag. But that'll move Brandon Elvis up 1 row. It'll be Chris Smith, Brandon Elvis through the Coleman Design restart zone, and we are racing here at Nashville. Into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Down the back straightaway they go. Brandon Elvis gets ahead of Chris Smith. He's going to lead into turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Oh, Smith sideways off the corners. Murphy's going to check up. Oh, upside down. Connor Lee on the front straightaway. Lee going for a big time tumble in the 8. All kinds of issues into turns 1 and 2 right there. We'll take another look at what happened. But a big wreck into turns 1 and 2 that time. We'll see if we can see what exactly happened. So we saw Zach Murphy in the 29 get a little bit loose. Right there. Oh, sorry, the 80 of Chris Smith got loose. And then Connor Lee up and over, slides up the racetrack. Nowhere for Caleb Thompson to go. Brad Carpenter involved. But a lot of cars collected in that one. We'll take one more look at it here. Try to take one more look at it here, I should say. From up above. Yeah, looks like Chris Smith just got loose up on the top side, and there might have been a little bit of net code involved as well. The caution flag is going to fly. We are 5 laps in here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. A couple cars had to come down pit road to get damage fixed. Zach Murphy in the 29, one of those drivers. Connor Lee, who we saw upside down. That car's down pit road. These guys do get a fast repair. But will they use it this early? We'll have to see. But 5 laps in, Brandon Elvis is your race leader. Carpenter second. Dale Ogburn up 9 spots from the beginning. Dalton Creech fourth, up 10 positions. A lot of shuffling going on in the running order from the get-go. The field makes their way down the back straightaway. Still quite a few cars out there. I believe 12 on the lead lap. We've lost Connor Lee and obviously Justin Coleman at the beginning. I don't think Brandon Kelly was around to take the green flag there. But the lights are going to drop off on the iRacing.com pace car. And the field is going to work their way through turns 1 and 2. It'll be Brandon Elvis lining up next to Brad Carpenter in the 31 machine. They make their way down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. It'll be Elvis, Carpenter. Pace car is off. They're going to make their way through the Coleman Design race start zone. Elvis gets the jump and we are underway. Big jump there for Brandon Elvis into turns 1 and 2. It'll be Dalton Creech battling with Brad Carpenter. Give Creech the spot down the back straightaway. More jostling for position behind him. Scotty Stevens getting around Jeffrey Miller. Ooh, Miller big sideways off the corner. I think everybody held on to it. We are 9 laps in here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Brandon Elvis is your race leader. Dalton Creech back behind him. Elvis starting to open up that gap, though. Already 7/10 of a second. You saw the big jump he was able to get. Is back behind Connor Lee and Zach Murphy trying to get back up. Murphy on the lead lap. The 8 machine of Lee not on the lead lap. See if he can move that machine forward later through the race. But up front, Brandon Elvis has a comfortable gap over Dalton Creech, who's still got Brad Carpenter and Dale Ogburn right behind him. Creech in the second position. Got into practice very late. I actually don't know if he got a practice time. But he's definitely been a second half of the race guy this season. Creech only has 1 top 5 this season in the Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication Super Series. Right now running in the second position. Be a great night if he could get a victory here at the Fairgrounds. Look back behind him, Dale Ogburn up 9 spots. He started 12th, currently in the 3rd position. Running pretty good right there. Justin Elvis with a good run. He's up 11 spots from his 15th place starting spot. Caleb Thompson involved in that first accident. Didn't look like there was too much damage. But got and collected when Connor Lee was sliding up the racetrack. You look up front, battle for the 2nd position. Ogburn creeping up to the back bumper of that 36 machine. One of the things I really like about Nashville Fairgrounds is you see a lot of guys all over the place not really running the same line. Able to make a lot of different lanes and whatnot work. All about how you drive the car and how you set up the brake. Ooh, big wiggle out of the 44 machine of Justin Elvis. Under attack from Caleb Thompson in the 04. Move Thompson up into the 4th spot. See if he can get clear down the back straightaway. Ooh, a little contact right there. The 44 up the racetrack. remember that, as here comes Zach Murphy trying to capitalize as well. Another wiggle out of the 44. Definitely do not want to get loose too many times on the exit of the corner. You'll really overheat that right rear tire. And you will pay for it later, as we got a battle still brewing for the second spot right now. Ogburn in the 0-1 looks to be a little bit quicker than the 36 of Dalton Creech. Just can he get around and get around the 36? We'll see. As once again, Ogburn to the inside into turns 3 and 4 right here. Ooh, up the racetrack a little bit. Creech still able to hold that top line. Very easy to pinch that guy down. It's very bumpy on the bottom of the racetrack. You see Creech able to get the car pointed off the exit of the corner. Big run that time. But you see him, even when he's clear, not going all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack. It is very bumpy through the center of the corners here at Nashville. You've watched the 0-1 machine go over right here. You see that front end bouncing up and down. Definitely a handful. But you can hit him just right and get a good run. We'll see if Ogburn is able to find that speed and get around Dalton Creech. If you look right behind Caleb Thompson with a run, he's going to try and take away the third spot. Ogburn up the racetrack, Thompson down low. Ooh, wiggle out of the 0-4 machine. That's going to give Dalton Creech some breathing room in the 36, but Thompson going to go through to the second spot. Just about clear into turns 3 and 4. Looks like he will be through the center. Zach Murphy going to try and follow suit. Ogburn going to try and put the crossover move on Murphy in the 29. Scotty Stevens in the 2, also creeping into picture right there. You see him. He's worked his way up from quite a ways back, actually. But right now, 29 laps in. Oh, looks like trouble for Jeffrey Miller. You see smoke out of the back end of that race car. He is exiting pit road. Definitely not what you want to see. Damage on the front end as well. Looks like he's going to bring it back down pit road. But we are 30 laps in here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. We're going to go to a quick WD Broadcasting Network side-by-side. We'll be right back in just a moment when we return.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh, my
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
And the caution flag is out here. Not sure what happened there. Caution flag is out here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Adam Fulford in the 71 machine having trouble. Or sorry, Daniel Sweat in the 07 machine. See what happened. He was behind the 71 of Adam Fulford. You see Chris Smith right there as well. Ooh, little contact, but you saw the 07 of Daniel Sweat was sideways on the apron. So he is going to go down pit road, I'm assuming, with these guys, but pit stops underway. All but one driver coming down pit road. Brandon Elvis and Zach Murphy, who was in the second spot, got around Dalton Creech, and he was tracking down your race leader, Brandon Elvis. We'll see if anybody elects to take 4 tires. 2 for Zach Murphy. Ooh, can he beat him out of the pits? And it looks like Brandon Elvis will hang on to the top spot. Chris Smith, though, is your race leader. We'll see if he elects to come down pit road. Looks like he does. So that's going to give the lead back to Brandon Elvis. So it'll be Brandon Elvis, Zach Murphy, Dalton Creech, Scotty Stevens, and Adam Fulford, your top 5. You see the 0 of Justin Coleman, your pole sitter here tonight. Had some trouble on the beginning, or in the beginning. Got that car back out there. He's several laps down, though. I believe 9 laps now after that wave around. But the caution flag flies for the first time here this evening. Zach Murphy looked like he had some pretty good pace there for Brandon Elvis. Don't know if Brandon was giving it everything he had right there, but definitely looked like he had pace. But they're under caution for the second time. I believe I said first time earlier, but second caution flag here this evening. Connor Lee stopped on the backstretch. He's a couple laps down. Big trouble that first caution flag. The field begins to double up behind the iRacing.com pace car. And the pace car does drop to the bottom side of the racetrack. Didn't look like we were going green right there. But the field will make their way through the Coleman design restart zone. Brandon Elvis into the gas. We are back racing at Fairgrounds. Through turns 1 and 2, down the back straightaway they go. Brandon Elvis has a good lead over Zach Murphy in the second spot. Scotty Stevens trying to challenge for second as well. But it'll be Brandon Elvis leading us back 48 laps in here at the Fairgrounds, just shy of halfway. Elvis, your leader. Murphy second in the 29. Scotty Stevens and Dalton Creech right there as well. You look back on the battle for the 8th spot, or sorry, the 7th spot. Caleb Thompson underneath Dale Ogburn. These two battling once again. As we look up front, Zach Murphy right there on the back bumper of the 54. We'll see if he can build up some speed. Cross flags right here, halfway in, halfway home. Brandon Elvis going to be your USA Firearms halfway leader. But 4 cars right there for the top spot. Here comes Zach Murphy with a run to the bottom side. Murphy going to challenge for the race lead here on lap number 52. Not able to get the run off the bottom. But Zach Murphy to the bottom side, trying to get around your race leader, Brandon Elvis. Murphy down low, still trying to make that bottom side work. You see him over the bumps. He's able to get a run. It looks like he's having trouble through turns 3 and 4. Drives it in there deep through the center of the corner. Will we see a new race leader? Looks like dead heat at the line. Give it to Zach Murphy just by a couple of inches. Can he hold that spot through turns 1 and 2 one more time? Into turns 3 and 4 right here. Looks like the advantage was to Brandon Elvis right there. But across the stripe, it's going to be Brandon Elvis in the 54. Murphy not able to get the run on the bottom. Trying to make this pass work the harder way around. Zach Murphy down low, trying to make the bottom side work. It is a tough world for the 29 right here. You see him fighting the wheel, trying to get that car rotated and get the power down, and also not spin it out on the bottom. But Elvis just doing such a good job holding the 29 down. As these two are starting to break away from the rest of your field. Dalton Creech about 0.6 of a second back. Still dead even at the line for Zach Murphy and Brandon Elvis. Down the front stretch right here, still Brandon Elvis with the advantage. We're 60 laps in, 40 to go. But Zach Murphy trying so hard to get that top spot on the bottom. Ooh, Elvis up into the wall. That's going to give the spot away. Brandon Elvis up into the outside wall. Zach Murphy going to take away that top spot. As we look back behind him, Scotty Stevens to the inside of Dalton Creech, trying to take away the third spot. But up front, it is Zach Murphy with the race lead. He's starting to open up that gap to the 54 of Brandon Elvis. Long battle between the two. Elvis got up into the outside wall and gave that spot away. We'll see if he can rally back. He's still got 37 laps to go. So we'll see if Brandon Elvis can track down Zach Murphy and take that top spot back. But a good battle we saw right there. A good race so far. Brandon Elvis, I'm sure, not going to be done fighting for the race lead. But up front right now, Zach Murphy still with the race lead. Scotty Stevens a couple tenths behind Brandon Elvis. He's got Dalton Creech right there behind him. Adam Fulford rounding out your top 5 in the 71. With Brad Carpenter, Caleb Thompson, and Chris Smith back there as well. Daniel Sweat in the 9th spot. Dale Ogburn rounds out the top 10. And the final car on the lead lap, Justin Elvis in the 44. But everybody fairly close together. Lap times pretty close throughout the field as well. Murphy last week finished 3rd at Myrtle Beach. Talked to him after the race. He said he was looking forward to Fairgrounds, double points. Was excited to see what he had. And right now, 70 laps in. 29 machine looks pretty strong, 0.4 of a second ahead of Brandon Elvis. Murphy this season, 5th in the point standings. Quite a ways back from Brandon Elvis, 30 points, the difference between those two. But this win right here could help him quite a bit. Murphy, the driver out of Oakland, Maine, trying to pick up his first victory of the season in the Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication Super Series. Got 3 different winners so far this season. Brandon Elvis with 3. Justin Coleman has 2 after last week. And Brandon Mettler picked up the victory back in race number 1 at Rockingham. 73 laps in. Working lap number 74, Chris Smith underneath Caleb Thompson. In the 04, Daniel Sweat right there as well, trying to take advantage. As you see Thompson up in the wall a little bit. Chris Smith back up into the 7th spot. Sure, he'd like to move up a little bit more. He started in the 2nd position. He's got to move up quite a bit, though, if he wants to get back up to where he was. Right now, though, Zach Murphy setting the pace. He's got 0.6 of a second over Brandon Elvis. Just trying to log laps and get to the finish. 24, coming to 23 laps to go. 23 to go for Zach Murphy. When they cross the line right there. He has got a good lead over Brandon Elvis. The last thing that he wants to see is a caution flag. Chris Smith up to the back bumper of Brad Carpenter, trying to move up move up closer to the top 5. right there on the back bumper. But we work through turns 3 and 4. Zach Murphy will see 20 laps to go. 20 laps to go for the 29 car of Zach Murphy. Trying to get the job done here this evening. Smith takes a peek to the inside right here underneath Brad Carpenter. Can he get the power down off the corner? Not going to get the run. Very hard to pass here tonight. You see guys able to get the run to the bottom, but just not able to get the power down off the corner. Murphy, one of the first guys we've seen able to drive up underneath somebody and make that pass work. Granted, it took them quite a few laps. They battled side by side for nearly 10 laps, if not more. Smith with another run to the bottom side. Carpenter up the racetrack right there. So 17 laps to go. Chris Smith in the 6th position, trying to get up into the top 5. But back up front, Zach Murphy, your race leader. 16 laps to go. Ooh, Elvis loose in the 54. Fastest car on the racetrack right now is actually the 3rd place car, Scotty Stevens, in the 2. He's starting to find some speed. We'll see what he can do. He's up to the back bumper of Brandon Elvis. Laps to go now. Scotty Stevens trying to find a way around Brandon Elvis. Right there on the back bumper. Looking to turns 3 and 4 right here. No difference between the two. Stevens once again right there on the back bumper. It'll take one run through the center of the corner to get that 54 up the racetrack a little bit. But can Stevens complete the pass? I think he can get to the inside. He's got a lot of speed right there. It looks like Elvis might have overheated the tires in the 54. But can Scotty Stevens complete the pass and get up into the 2nd spot? Stevens trying to fit the nose in right there. Elvis forced to give some room up the racetrack. He goes. Here comes Scotty Stevens in the number 2 machine to the inside of Brandon Elvis in the 54, trying to make the pass for the 2nd spot. We've got 10 laps to go here at Fairgrounds. Stevens trying to move up the track a little bit. These two battle, give it to Stevens that time, but just by a little bit. Down the back straightaway once again. Brandon Elvis up into the wall a little bit right there. Stevens going to pull ahead as they work through turns 3 and 4. Looks like Elvis just able to hold that line up on the top. Ooh, Stevens loose on the bottom. That's going to reset everything. Elvis going to be able to breathe for a moment in that 2nd spot. 7 laps to go now for Zach Murphy in the 29. He has really stretched that gap out. 1.3 seconds the advantage down the back straightaway. A lot of space for Zach Murphy. He's got 6 laps to go at the line. Right now we're looking at the battle for the 2nd position. Brandon Elvis right there in the 2nd spot. Stevens trying to take that position from him. The hand is out of the flag stand. 5 laps to go for these drivers. 5 to go for Zach Murphy in the 29. Murphy down the backstretch. 2.5 now. The difference He can nearly coast home from here. 4 laps to go for the 29 of Murphy. All he has to do is get that car to the finish line. As things continue to heat up behind him for second. 3 laps to go. Can Scotty Stevens find a way around that 54 machine here at the end? Stevens in the 2 that last time, a little bit slower than the 54. We'll see the popsicle sticks right here this time by 2 laps to go for Zach Murphy in the 29. 2 to go for Zach Murphy in the 29 machine. As he works his way through turns 3 and 4. He'll see the white flag. 1 more lap to go for Zach Murphy. A final time through turns 1 and 2. He's got nearly 2 seconds over second place Brandon Elvis. But through turns 3 and 4 for a final time, the Oakland main driver going to pick up the victory here in the All-Star race. Zach Murphy wins at Nashville Fairgrounds. Second spot going to go to Brandon Elvis there. Close battle late with Scotty Stevens. He's going to end up 3rd. Dalton Creech ends up 4th in the 36. And then Adam Fulford rounds out your top 5 in the 71. But Zach Murphy picking up the victory here at Nashville. His first victory of the season. A good run from the 29 machine. And he burns it down in turns 1 and 2. We're going to take a quick step away here on True Sim Productions. We'll be back in just one moment. Going to grab a word from our top 3 competitors before we wrap things up. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back in just a moment. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on True Sim Productions. Going to grab a word from our top 3 finishers, starting with first our 3rd place finisher up in the broadcast booth, Scotty Stevens. Do you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you one.
Alrighty, you started in the 10th spot. Looked like you had a lot of speed in practice. You were near the top of the board the whole time. Little trouble in qualifying, but you brought that 2 machine up onto the podium here at the end of it. How do you feel?
It's good to have a good run. I've been struggling in the supers all year. Put the practice in this week and definitely paid off.
Yeah, practice really does make perfect. You put in a lot of laps, you get the line down. figure out the place a little bit and figure out how to pass late in the end, which you did, and you got your way up onto the third spot. Is there anybody that you have to thank for this podium finish here tonight?
Yeah, I always got to thank Five Kings Motorsports, EPI, all those guys. Elvis and all his crew for running the league and putting up with everyone's crap. Just it's always fun to run with them. Frustrating at times, but glad we had a good run tonight.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Scotty Stevens, on your third place finish here tonight.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks, that was Scotty Stevens, driver of the number 2 machine, coming home second here tonight. Now to grab a word from coming home third here tonight. Now to grab a word from our second place finisher, Brandon Elvis, up in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, bud.
Alrighty, well, I talked to you earlier on here this evening. You had a lot of speed in practice, in qualifying, qualified in the third spot here tonight. Ended up second, lost the lead there. Battled good with Zach Murphy for about 10 laps, but he just had the speed on the bottom.
Yeah, man, right there at the end of that first long run, I thought I was saving tires right there, and then I seen him coming, so I was like, all right, let me pick it up here a little bit. And I didn't have nothing to pick up. He had me covered, that's for sure. On that restart there, I was able to get out front for a couple laps, and then once he was there, I was just doing all I could to hold him off there, and I got into the wall a little bit, but he was the better car tonight for sure. He was class of the field.
Yeah, he definitely had a lot of speed in that 29, but you did as well in the 54, kept it up in the second spot. You led past halfway, I should say. He got the lead right around that lap 60 mark, but still a good run out of the 54, going to be good for points. Anybody that you have to thank that helps get this 54 to the virtual racetrack and onto the podium every week?
Yeah, man. My wife, my mom, and dad, first off. Barrels Performance and Fab, Chestnut Hill Restaurant, Coleman Design for keeping these cars looking really good. Tough break for him tonight, man. He had some internet issues at the beginning of the race and kind of took him out of contention there. Let's see. Gibbs Brothers Construction, Beach Homes Construction, Parker Brothers Windows 10. Everybody else on the car, man. You for doing the broadcast for us. You do a phenomenal job, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always a fun time. Good race here tonight. Fun to watch you and Zach battle there. And still a good run in the second spot for you here tonight, Brandon. Next week, we head to...
You waiting on me?
No, I got it. Next week, we head to the...
Southern National.
Southern National next week. Why don't I know this? There we go. Up on the screen it does. But Southern National next week, that is one of my favorite tracks. I know I say this a lot. A lot of tracks are my favorite, I guess, but Southern National really is. It races a lot like the tracks around here. What's your take on it?
Oh, I really like Southern National with these supers. These things get really light off the corners. It's going to be a good race for this and the late model stocks, honestly. I don't know, man. I don't know that I'm had much success at Southern National, even though I really like the racetrack. Bad fast pace and very, very rhythm oriented. So maybe we'll do good. We'll see. I got no for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 races right here. I'm going to have to really, I'm probably not going to be the fastest car. I'm just going to have to hold on. Let's put it that way.
Alrighty. Well, good thing you got a points buffer going into the second half of the season here, but nonetheless, congratulations on a good run in second here tonight at the Fairgrounds.
All right. Thanks, Winston.
Yes, sir. Alrighty. Second place right there was Brandon Elvis. We'll get the schedule off the screen for you guys. Try to, at least. I guess that's the other schedule button. Regardless, up in the booth, gonna see if we can grab a word from our feature winner here tonight, Zach Murphy. You get a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Alrighty, well, picked up the victory here tonight. Started from the 5th spot, rode in that 5th spot until that first caution. That first caution kind of had some trouble there, but the 29 machine was bad fast, and he drove it back up through the field, took the lead after a great battle with Brandon Elvis there. Took the lead around lap 60 and set sail from there. How you feel?
Yeah, it feels really good to finally get a victory in this league. I've been racing here for a couple seasons. I've never actually parked it in victory lane in the All-Star Racing League, so it feels good to finally wrap one up and be on the podium tonight.
Yeah, definitely a great run. And you said this is your first victory. You earned it here this evening. You and Brandon battled hard. It looked tough to pass on the bottom, and he had that upper preferred groove, and you kept the 29 machine in there and made the pass after battling for quite a while. Who do you have to thank that helps get this 29 machine to the racetrack every week and getting these good runs?
Yeah, certainly was a fun battle with Brandon there. I got to thank Justin over at Coleman Designs for putting a great wrap on the car. So that's a little disappointed he couldn't make it tonight. Sounded like he had some computer issues. Thank Whitney Automotive for coming on the car on the hood. Thank the guys down in Race Room 3. I had Caleb, Brad, and Adam. They're a great group of guys to chat with during the race. Thank Brandon and Dalton and all the guys at All Star put the league on. And last but not least, you, Winston, for the broadcast. It's always great to look back on and watch the highlights.
Alrighty, well, winner in race 1 of the week gives you the only opportunity this week to sweep. What do you got tomorrow in the late model stock?
Oh man, yeah, hopefully we can get it done. Nashville is one of my favorite tracks, and honestly, I probably should have got the win last week at Myrtle if I hadn't sped on pit road like an idiot. So I definitely had a little speed in the late model lately, so see what we can do tomorrow. Hopefully qualify up front and keep the track position, and be talking to you again, collect a little more money.
Alrighty, well, congratulations on winning the All-Star race here this evening, Zach. Always fun to talk to you up in the booth. Glad to see you with another victory.
Well, thank you, Winston. We'll catch you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks. That was Zach Murphy. Always good to see the 29 machine in victory lane. I believe his last win that I watched was Langley a couple weeks ago in the Lead the Pack iRacing League Street Stock Showdown. Got a bunch of names jumbled up there, but regardless, we'll get the results up on our screen. Our final results. See Zach Murphy, winner right there in the 29. Brandon Elvis, second in the 54. Scotty Stevens going to be third in the 2 machine. Dalton Creech fourth in the 36. Adam Fulford, 71. He finishes 5th. Brad Carpenter in the 31 comes home 6th. Daniel Sweat, after his spin, comes home 7th. Caleb Thompson, 8th. Chris Smith in the 89th, and rounding out the top 10, it's Dale Ogburn in the 01. So there is your results on the screen. We'll get those off there and wrap things up here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Thank you to everybody who tuned in here this evening. Glad that we were able to put on a good show for everybody, and that everybody was able to enjoy. Murphy with a great run there, picks up the victory, but I think that's going to wrap it up for us here this evening. We will see you guys back tomorrow night here on True Sim Productions, and then Wednesday over on the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook. But until then, I think that's going to do it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching and letting me come over to the True Sim Productions YouTube channel. I am your host from the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook, Winston Deal. Signing off. See you guys tomorrow.